Okay. Preservation of food. What is the meaning of preservation?
like like storing it, like
Storing.
preserving it.
Yeah, yes. Like storing, like preserving, storing something so that we can use it for a long time. So that we can use it without it getting spoiled.
Yeah.
Somewhat that. So yes, that is preservation. Okay. Now we know that some foods are there which are not available throughout the year because seasons change. Okay, because seasons change. So, according to the change of seasons, there is change in the food also. Why? Because some foods, some crops, and some plants that grow in summers. So we can enjoy them throughout summer, while some are there which we are only able to enjoy during the winter season, right? Because those crops and those plants they only grow in winter season. Is my voice audible? Okay. Okay. Now, we cannot relish fresh mangoes as such, but preserved mango products such as pickle, chutney, juice, squash, and jam can be enjoyed throughout the year. Now, what we can do is that there is one season, a particular season of mango. Okay. That is summer season. Like now that we have summer season, you must have seen that mangoes are coming, right? Mangoes are coming. Winter season, okay, when the major summers will end, that time we will not find mangoes. So, but what we can do is we can prepare such dishes out of mango that we can enjoy throughout the year. Okay, do you all know that with mangoes, mango pickle is made, mango jam is there, okay, mango squash is there, juice is there. Okay, squash is a more pulpy and more thick thing that in which you add water or milk and then make a mango juice or make mango shake and all of that. So all of these we can prepare out of mango so that we can enjoy them throughout the year. That is what is food preservation. Food preservation is very important to improve the nutritional content and have a variety in diet. So we will see how we can preserve food. Also, we will see what is food spoilage and storage. Okay. What is food spoilage is basically when food is spoiled, okay, in and that when we are unable to consume it because it's gone bad, it is spoiled. That is known as food spoilage. And food that is spoiled is no longer fit for eating. When we keep bread outside the refrigerator for a few days, a spongy growth is seen on it, which may be white, green, or black in color. This growth is called mold. Have you ever seen a bread that's gotten bad, spoiled? Okay, a black, gray, okay, green thing comes on its surface. That is known as mold. So the bread is now spoiled due to growth of mold and has become unfit for our consumption. Can we eat that mold bread? No, right? Because it is bad. It is unfit for our consumption. Likewise, if cooked dal or vegetable is left outside for some time, it develops a bad smell and bubbles due to fermentation. Due to fermentation means that the uh, bacteria and all microorganisms grow in it because it is exposed to air, okay, and they grow in it and then they make all of it spoiled, okay, make all of it go bad. If we in summers, you must have noticed this when we take dinner, when we have dinner, when we have lunch. Once we have had our lunch or dinner, our parents take all the food, okay, and then they keep it in the refrigerator, right? They keep it in the fridge. All the leftover vegetable, leftover dal, whatever it is made in lunch or dinner, we store it, and milk also and everything. We store it in the refrigerator. Why is that? Is because in a low temperature, fridge has a very less temperature. So in that less temperature, it stops the growth of microorganisms. Okay, it stops the growth of microorganisms, which keeps our food fresh. Similarly, with the bread, bun, and juices, everything we store in the fridge. Why? So that it can be kept in a cool temperature, and so that the growth of microorganisms can be stopped. Okay. Now, um, this dal and vegetables are thus spoiled and cannot be eaten. How can we say that a food is spoiled? Food is said to be spoiled if it changes color. Sometimes it changes color and it gives off a bad smell and it shows signs of fermentation. That is, bubbles are seen in the food, or there is a growth of mold, that is spongy or powdery growths in the foodstuff. Formation of soft spots or soft brown spots on fruits and vegetables is also um, a sign of food spoilage. If you've seen an apple that is there, that is left for a very long time without consuming outside, then what happens on the outer skin? Brown thing appear. When you cut it, there is a brown spot, okay, big brown spot, and then that spot, it keeps getting bad, keeps growing until the whole apple turns brown. Okay, so that is what means spoiling food in fruits and vegetables. It just turns brown in color. Okay, that is unfit for our consumption. So that is there. That is known as the spoilage of food. Now, why do
Ma'am,
this food get spoiled? Yes, Amaze.
sorry, I just remembered. On Friday we have another test actually.
Okay, Friday you have another test.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you can do the test Saturday. Are you all free
Um,
Saturday?
I I don't. I maybe yeah. I think I should be.
Yeah, I'm free.
You are free. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll send you all the paper Friday. Okay, y'all can complete it and submit it to me by Saturday or Sunday. Okay,
Okay.
Sunday school too. Sunday is the last, but try submitting by Saturday. Okay, take Friday, take Saturday. Okay, Sunday max. Please submit the paper.
Okay.
So Friday, then I'll give you all an off for the home science. Okay, because you have like two tests. Your home science is there, and then another test. So we'll give you an off to prepare. Tomorrow, English is there, right? Kondiba chapter.
Yeah.
So tomorrow will be off for English, and test I'll send morning. Morning sounds good.
Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Morning. Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow morning I'll send you all the paper. Okay. Any doubt from the spoiling of food?
No.
Okay. Then comes reason for food spoilage. Why does this food get spoiled? Food gets spoiled mainly due to the presence of microorganisms, like I said, that microorganisms or enzymes that are present in the food. Also, do you know why? If you when we sit at the dining table, okay, and the food is served, we take we take how much whatever we need, and then we cover it with a lid. Right, we cover it with a lid. Why do we cover it with a lid? The reason being that to protect it from dust, to protect it from insects like bees and all. You know, bees like to sit on food. So And we know that these bees sit at 100 different places. They also sit at garbage. They also sit at all the wastage in the world, and then they sit on food. So when they do this, those germs, those bacteria from the waste, from the garbage, can infect our food when they sit on our food. Okay, it can transfer to our food. That is why we cover our food when we are like taking dinner, the food is served. When we are not taking from it, we cover all of it with lids so that we can avoid the insects, we can avoid dust falling into the food and all of that. Okay. Also, that is one reason. Then also when food is stored, ration is stored. When ration is stored in our home, precaution should be taken so that it can be avoided. Rats can be avoided. You know, if a rat finds your ration, then he'll eat it. Okay, they'll make a hole in it. Okay, they can infect it also. Okay, and they can eat your ration. And you know, somehow sometimes the rats find the ration. They can also like they can contaminate it, the ration and all. So it is important that we store it well, properly. And worms also, sometimes worms can also like get into the food and infect it. Have you all in also worms can be there in some vegetables also, in some vegetables. That is why it is said to properly wash them, boil them, clean them, open it nicely and clean them, right? That is why it said, or else you'll cook the worm and eat it. So it's better to avoid doing it. Okay, so those are the reasons of food spoilage. Okay, how can a food get spoiled? It's like then there is a presence of microorganisms. When we knead the dough and keep it in the refrigerator, what do we observe? The top surface becomes black. So when the dough is kept for like more than 24 hours in the refrigerator, notice it sometime. Okay, the upper surface of it will become black. The stored dough. Okay, that we used to make our chapatis. If it is stored in the fridge for more than 24 hours, the upper surface will turn black. Why is that? Because microorganisms are present in it and they spoil the food items when their conditions for growth are appropriate. Means when microorganisms can grow in the food, they have appropriate condition, they grow and they will multiply. And you know, they multiply very quickly. Microorganisms multiply very quickly, so they will multiply and they will destroy the food. Okay, so like all living beings, they require air and moisture. What are the conditions that microorganisms need to grow, to develop? These are the conditions. They require air, they require moisture, they require the right temperature and food to grow and multiply. So some conditions are mentioned which can make these microorganisms multiply. Food having moisture content, high moisture content, means that watery content, right? That is moisture. So tomatoes, if you've seen, that get spoiled easily compared to potatoes. Why? Because tomatoes have water inside them, right? So they spoil easily. They spoil very fast, tomatoes. Then air surrounding the food contains microorganisms. If the air that is surrounding the food contains microorganisms, it can easily grow in the food also. Then when food is kept at a long time at room temperature, like we talked about this, that when we store something that is not in the fridge, but outside only, be it milk, be it any vegetable, be it raw vegetable or cooked vegetable, we always put all of it in the fridge, right? The raw form also, raw spinach, raw everything, all the raw vegetables, cabbage, lettuce, everything we store in the fridge uncooked. Then once it is cooked, that time also we store it in the fridge. Why is that? Because at the room temperature, all of it becomes stale, all of it is spoiled. Okay, then skin or fruit skin vegetables getting damaged if exposed to microorganisms like banana. You may name some more fruits which get damaged. Now, some of the fruits, their skin get damaged by microorganisms like banana. Okay, then fruits with low salt, sugar, acid content. Okay, in foods which have low salt content, sugar content, or acid content can also have the growth of microorganisms. Okay, then hence, if you want to prevent spoilage of food by microorganisms, you must remove the conditions which are appropriate for their growth. Now, what conditions do we remove that are appropriate for the growth? We saw these were the conditions that are appropriate. We just remove them. Presence of enzymes. Enzymes are chemical substances found in all plants and animals. Enzymes are not harmful, but they help in ripening of fruits and vegetables. A raw green mango, after a few days, becomes sweet in taste and yellow in color. Why? Because it has such enzymes which helps it to ripen. What will happen if you keep this yellow, ripe mango for a few more days? It will become soft, it will develop black spots and give out a bad smell. This is due to continued action of enzymes. No one likes to eat such an overripe or rotten mango. You know that even when the skin of the fruits is not cut or damaged, it gets spoiled. This is due to enzymes action. Okay, so before the enzymes make it bad for us to eat, we need to eat it. Before the enzymes eat it, we have to eat it. Okay, means before it gets spoiled, when it's in the ripe stage, not overripe, not unripe, but in the mid stage when it is good to eat. Then there is insect swarms and rats. So these insects eat the food grains. They make small holes in the grain and at times convert the grain into a fine powder. You know that if the worms and all of these insects, if the food or the grains are stored for a long time, like take suppose an year, okay, a year. When it is stored for a year and then you check it, then sometimes you find that all of it is powder. Where does that come from? That happened because the worms and the mice and all, they have turned it into a powder. Okay, so that is there. Then the food grain thus becomes unfit for human consumption. Rats also damage food. Okay, so there are three main causes of microorganisms: enzymes, insects, worms, and rats. Okay, remember that. Then there is an activity. We have food and their spoilage. Okay, in the following table, we have to write how they are spoiled or what change will you see. Like in milk, it just splits like all the components of the milk. Okay, it becomes watery somewhat. Okay, and it just disperses the milk, and then we know that something is wrong with the milk. It's gone bad. Okay, then we can make cheese out of it, paneer out of it, but that's secondary. Okay, you cannot do that with everything that is spoiled to make something new with it. Okay, with milk it can be done, but not everything. Then there is rice. How to know that rice is spoiled? You will see black things in rice. Okay, holes and all. Then orange. Orange also becomes squishy and it will give a bad smell. So we will know that orange has gone bad. Okay. Then then there is food storage. Okay. What is food storage? Storing of food. Now, food storage simply means keeping food in a special place until it is needed for consumption. For example, when we buy cookies, snacks, and all, if we just leave it in the air, we will find that they have become very soft. That crunch is gone. Chips also. If you leave chips or namkeen or biscuits and cookies open in the air, exposed to air, we'll find that they are all very soft and all the crunch, and it is all like it will lost that. When we store them in airtight containers, boxes, okay, or airtight packets and all, then they'll still be crunchy. They'll still be good. Okay, then we buy milk and boil it, or we store it in a cool place to grow. You buy pulses, rice, and wheat flour and store them in airtight containers. Why do we do this? Because we want our food to remain fresh and protected from being spoiled. The quantity of food you buy depends on a requirement or how soon it is likely to be spoiled, or what we call the shelf life. Okay, what is a shelf life? Shelf life means that how much longer can something survive when we store it in a shelf? Kidding, but the actual is how long can something survive once it is open? That is the shelf life. Okay, shelf is basically a place where we store things. A shelf. You know that, right? Yes. So
Yes.
that where the word is taken, shelf life means a place like how much can the food be will go on once it is open. That's its life, shelf life. Okay, or how soon it will be spoiled. So the food that are spoiled quickly, we buy less of them. We buy less of them. Does any one of you buys 5 kg tomatoes? 5 kg. You do? No, right? Until you make a sauce until you have a sauce business, a ketchup business, we don't buy 5 or 10 kg tomatoes. Why? Is that because they have a shorter shelf life. Okay, shelf life means that they get spoiled um, quickly, faster. But we do buy 2 to 3 kg of onions. Okay, we do buy onions in a more quantity into it compared to tomatoes. Why we do that is because um, onions have a good life. We use it a lot in everything we put onion. Okay, and also onions don't go bad for days, so we can store them. Pulses also we can store them, so we buy it for a whole month or for 2 months. Okay, pulses and rice and everything. For 1 month we buy it in the whole ration. 2 months. Okay, but not the same with this thing, tomatoes and all. Vegetables, do we buy vegetables altogether for the whole month? Do we do that? For the entire month, we just went in and buy 30 kg vegetables. This will last for 30 days. No, right? That is because vegetables all have a short life, short shelf life. Okay, we buy it as and when we need, like every 2 to 3 days we buy. Right, 2 to 3 days we buy so that it does not get spoiled. Okay, now now there is the classification of food items according to their shelf life. Okay, shelf life we just discussed, the life that it has before it gets spoiled. Okay, that is the shelf life. Tell me, any doubt till now in food storage? Any question?
No, I think I got it.
Say again.
I think I got it.
You got it.
Understand it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then to notice the different food items take different length of time to get spoiled. Can you name 3 food items that spoil quickly and 3 which do not get spoiled for a long time? Now, can you tell me at least one thing that gets spoiled quickly and that spoils late? One item, tell me.
Milk spoils quickly if you leave it out in the fridge.
Yes, milk.
Dal gets spoiled when you leave it out for a long time or a day.
Dal, you were saying the pulses in raw form, dal in raw form, or the cooked one?
So,
Cooked one. Yes. Cooked one can spoil quickly if it's kept outside, or within 3 to 4 days if it's in a refrigerator. 3 days.
yeah.
Then about spoiled late, things that spoil late.
Um,
Fish?
Fish. Okay. How much time does fish takes to spoil?
Hmm, Days, I think. Or like 2 days. 1 day.
So it will come and spoil quickly.
Oh,
Okay. Fish is gonna come in something that spoils quickly. All the non-veg will come and spoil quickly. Okay. Spoil late is something that can go on for some weeks or some a lot of days or months. Or there are things that go on even for years. Yes, Bengal.
will eggs be something like raw eggs?
Eggs. Eggs can be something spoil late. I'm putting eggs because eggs take some days.
Yeah.
Pickle. This takes years. 1 year, 2 year. Yes. Yes, Megan, you said something.
Honestly, red chilies, like the dried ones.
Red chili dry ones. Yes, yes. They
is
spoil
mustard
late.
also?
Mustard also. Yes, amaze mustard also. Okay, red chilies and mustards. Okay, so they all spoil late. That is actually a method of preservation is to dry the things, dry out the vegetables or fruits and all. Like pickle is there. Okay, we dry it and then we can do it. Okay, for a long time, for months. We can make chili flakes, and chili flakes we can use it for months. Chili flakes don't, right? Made up of red chilies. Then also there is pickle. Pickle, when we make pickle also does not get. Why is the ingredients of a pickle merged in oil, which preserves them? Oil is a preserving agent, right? Oil is a agent. Then when we sun dry things, when we make a pickle out of it, those help in preservation. The time for which a food can be kept fresh is called its shelf life. It is also known as stability of food during storage. Food items are classified on the basis of their stability during storage into non-perishable, semi-perishable, and perishable foods. Now, how can we store them? What is perishing?
Um, I don't know how to uh like gone, kind of.
Explain it. Something getting destroyed, evaporated into thin air. Okay,
Yeah,
that's okay. Yeah, perishing means ending. Something that is
yeah.
ending, destroying. Okay. So now based on that, food is classified into perishable food. Means food that is food that easily gets spoiled, okay, or that spoils quickly. There is semi-perishable food that is that we can store, okay, that we can store for quite some time, okay, and it does not get spoiled very quickly. Then there is non-perishable food that we can store for like years, for a lot of time, okay, that cannot get that cannot be spoiled very quickly, but it. So eggs, you can see, potatoes, onions, biscuits, cakes are all cakes. Is I think not the actual cream cake, okay, not our actual cream one, but the non-cream one, okay. The dry cakes that are there, So those can be are semi-perishable. Do you know that there are some wedding cakes that are made which can last up to 1 year?
What?
We have that in our city. We like where from the place that we get our cakes made, it's a very famous place. The bakers are like very famous, and also a lot of like they get a lot of orders from outside the city as well. From outside the city, like all of our relatives may get their cakes made here in our city from that particular bakers. We have all our relatives wedding cakes made from there only. So they make such cakes which last for almost a year. Okay, so and that is like not the cream part really, but the base part. Okay, and the cream is also dry. It's not the cream that we use in our normal birthday cakes. That is moist cream. But the cream that they use is more of a dry cream, it is drier. And the base, it lasts for almost a year. So that will come under non-perishable food. But the birthday cakes that we get will come under perishable food because it goes bad in 2 days, like, okay, max 2 days, maximum, I'm saying. Like after like 2 days, on a third day, will you eat a 3 day old cake? The cream will, um, you'll have a bad smell in the cream. Okay, it will go bad. That is perishable. Then there is non-perishable food which can go on for a year, months, can be whole grain cereals, can be pulses, can be nuts, cashew, and all of that. Can be oil seeds, okay, mustard and everything. Can be sugar and jaggery. You know what's jaggery, right? All of those are non-perishable foods. Okay. To consumers now, it is mandatory for manufacturers to provide detailed labels on processed food items indicating their date of expiry. Now, all these foods, they have a date of expiry or a probable date that after this particular time, it will go bad. Now, this date can be, for perishable foods, can be 10 days, 15 days, okay, some for a month. Semi-perishable can be 6 months, okay, 3 months, 6 months. Then non-perishable expiry date can be 1 year, 2 year. Okay. If you next time when you buy something, okay, you can turn on the packet and check out there is a manufacturing date written MFD. Okay, MFD. Then a date is given to you. For example, 12/4/23. That is 12th April 2023. Okay, suppose I bought a packet and the date is 12/4/23. It was manufactured last year. Okay. So then there is another thing written as EXPIRY, expiry date. Okay. So some date will be given to you. Okay. So it means that after this particular date, your food will go bad. After this date, your food will go bad. Also, when you're buying things, make sure that the manufacturing date is of this year itself. Okay, not previous year, but this year itself. Previous year means it's been a long time, but this year can be manufactured 1 month before, 2 months before, 3 months before, 4 months before. But MFD should be this year itself, not of the previous year. Okay. So we will stop here today. Okay. Also, some items, its date is not mentioned, but it is written MFD, manufacturing date is mentioned. Okay. And then it is written best before 12 months of packaging. Best before 12 months of package, 12 months. Okay. Or consume before um, this thing, date is mentioned. Then you can do, it means that you can take an idea, get an idea that when the product will be expired. Okay, always make a habit whenever you will buy things in the future, whenever you go out to buy things, always check for manufacturing date and expiry date. Sometimes we just buy something and we don't know if it's an expired product, and then it will give a bad effect to our health. Okay, so make this a habit to always check the manufacturing and expiry dates. Then this is nothing but the shelf life of food, that after that date, the food may not look or taste the same as fresh, and also it starts decomposing. After that date, it will start decomposing, start to go bad. Okay. From activity 5.2, we are going to do tomorrow. Food preservation we'll do tomorrow. You can try this out at home as homework. Okay. Try this out as homework. We will meet now tomorrow. Okay. For the English class also today. See y'all.
Bye bye.
Bye.